What's up everybody, I'm Aiden.
I'm Clark.
In today's video we're going to talk about distortion pedals.
Welcome to Liquid Studios. In today's video we're going to take a look at 4 different distortion pedals. The JHS App Plus Distortion, the Revv G3, the Electro Harmonix Soul Food, and the Mad Professor Mighty Red Distortion. In this video we're going to hook the pedals up to the front of the amp, and I'm just going to mess around with them a little bit and show you some of the tones that I like to get out of them. And then we're going to hook them up to the effects loop of the amp and just use them as a preamp.
You get to hear kind of what the pedals sound like. I find with distortion pedals it varies so much depending on the amp and the guitar that you're playing. I do know the first time I heard that Mad Professor Mighty Red, I just thought that was the end all be all for a distortion pedal. I was really impressed with it, and I really like the sound of what it does.
The JHS App Plus is a great distortion pedal as well, because I find it does sound very close to the Marshall sounds, and it's great having that extra boost knob on it too for when you want to go to your leads. But I do find it's very finicky with your EQ. You definitely, once you dime a little bit of the EQ, then it really affects the air too in it, so you have to really spend a bit of time fine-tuning it and switching between the 3 different modes, the 25, 50 watt, and 100 watt mode, because they'll really change the characteristics of the distortion big time. I actually almost found my favorite setting on the App Plus is the 25 watt mode, and I don't know if that's just because I'm so used to playing with lunchbox amp heads for a while that I've come used to that more compressed, distorted sound, but I really like that when you hear it just on its own. When I played it though in band practice, I found with the louder volume it was definitely great in the 100 watt mode. It really shone there.
And you'll hear on the sound samples with the App Plus the variation. We left the dynamics in on the recording of the pedals so that you can hear kind of how they're reacting when he's switching between those modes, and how it's kind of reacting when he's turning the pedals on and off, just to kind of give you a little bit of context and some idea of how that's manipulating the sound.
Now I'm just going to mess around and show you a couple different sounds that you can get out of the JHS App Plus distortion.
With the Revv pedal, we found it worked best. I preferred it best in the effects loop of the Mesa, so it was kind of working as the preamp. So it was kind of more using it as kind of like an amp head sim almost. But I just found it gave a really nice high gain sound, and especially for if you were to wanting to do like soaring leads, I think that would be a great way to be able to capture those type of tones.
I would say if you're going for more of that like 80s hair metal sound, like, or the Eddie Van Halen type of sound, this pedal's going to get you there with any amp that you're going to play it through, more than any of the other ones that we're demonstrating. It's pretty much instantly when you kick it on, that's what it sounds like, would you not say so? But I also find, like with the Eddie Van Halen amp when we had it, it sounds great, but it's almost too harsh sounding in it, and I find you really have to dime the treble and mids down. And our other brother, he actually played with the pedal when I first got it, and I thought it was pretty funny because he dimed the treble down to 0, and it was still, he found it was still too trebly for his liking.
Yeah, it's definitely, if you're looking for that higher gain and more modern type of sound, that's gonna do that for you. But if you want like a classic rock type of sound, that's probably not
that would be the last one to get out of the 4 pedals that we're demonstrating for definitely a classic rock tone. But modern or heavy metal, that one is the one to go with. Okay, now I'll just show you the different channels on the Revv G pedal. You can switch between turning the aggressive mode off, the blue channel, and the red channel. I'll start with it off. Now to the blue channel. And finally the red channel. Now I'm just going to mess around for a few minutes with the Revv G3 in the effects loop to see if I can tweak it and get some really cool sound.
We've been through so many distortion pedals over the years. These are just kind of the ones we're using now that we've been really happy with. Soul Food, like Clark showed, it's more of an overdrive, but that's one that is always, it's stuck around with us for a
Yeah, since that
time.
pedals came out, I bought it right away when it first came out, and it's been on my board, and I couldn't see that one ever really leaving my board. It's just, in my opinion, it's the perfect pedal because it has that little bit of edge and gain, where it doesn't get like too crazy and out of control, but it works so well as a clean booster to help boost a high gain amp or anything. And it also sounds so good that it's one you can just turn it on and just leave it on to alter your tone a little bit out of your guitar, and you'll always be happy with the sounds that you get out of it. And that's with the drive all the way up on the Soul Food. For the longest time, I always used the Mad Professor Mighty Red and the Electro Harmonix Soul Food as my pedals. And after going through a bunch of distortion pedals, I still find that's probably my favorite combination. Just because the Mighty Red gets you close to those really nice Marshall tones, and then using the Soul Food just to drive that a little bit more takes it into the perfect territory, because you can get into almost more of that metal, super high gain territory once you start using that pedal with it too. And the Soul Food, I find, works great with any distortion just to help really smooth things out in your tone.
Thanks everybody for checking out our video. If you enjoyed it,
Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.
to stay up to date on new videos that we release, you can also connect with us on social media, Twitter at Liquid Studio 2 and Instagram at Liquid Studio Producers.
We host a live stream every Monday and Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on
eLive,
at
eLive.
TV/Liquid Studio.
Come, hang out, talk, and create music with us. We post all the songs we create to SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Liquid Studio Producers. We list the key and BPM of each song.
You can then download the songs, add your own vocals and instruments to create your very own songs, or just enjoy the music for yourself.
Also, if you're a content creator, you can use any of the songs we create as royalty-free music for your own video content.